Today we're going to practice with our mats at the wall. So once you set that up, you're going to find your way to child's pose. Just let the breath find its way in and out of your body, grounding the tops of the feet down. And in an inhale, just float up from child's pose. And exhale back to child's pose. Tabletop. And again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit bones back. Slowly inhale again. And then this time come all the way down to your mat. Come back through table. Make your way back to child's pose. Take an inhale, exhale, lower. Just take your time. Inhale, stretch forward to lift up. Exhale, seat back, child's pose. Call your hands over to the right. Any amount possible, bending the right hand next to the right knee if you like. Trying to open the rib cage on the left side of your body. Connecting with your breath. Slowly make your way to the left. One or both hands out in front of you or left hand next to left knee. Tipping your ear to the side if that feels comfortable on your neck. Looking for length on that right side. Call your hands back towards center. Let your elbows relax, or if it feels better, claw the fingertips like you've got two softballs under your hand. Spin the elbows to your ceiling. Try to lengthen your sit bones back. Come to tabletop position. Move through some slow cat-cows. Inhaling as you lift up. Exhaling, really working to empty out. As you do this, press the tops of the feet and the shins and the knees down. Gently cupping the palms, gripping with fingertips. Right hand up to the sky. Thread the needle, right? So take it under and then point the left armpit down. That hand back up for an optional bind behind the back, just to open through the top shoulder. Unwind. And we're going to come to awkward airplane. Left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. Line up so your foot finds the wall. So you might have to scooch back. And again, awkward airplane. Let your left foot come to the wall. Engage your glutes and quads. Left foot on the wall. Just enjoy that stretch as you inhale for this version of cow pose with your foot at the wall and cat pose. So less about the neck only, more about the whole spine where it's comfortable. If it feels uncomfortable for any reason, don't do this. Just leave your foot at the wall. Come on back, tabletop. Left arm this time up to the sky. Thread the needle under. And you'll see I'm going to shift my sit bones to the left, just so they remain over the knees. Feeling a nice stretch behind the left shoulder and underneath the right pec, enhancing that, if you like, by lifting the arm, taking the half bind. Don't worry if your fingertips don't reach your inner thigh, you can just have your hand at your back. Unwind that. Coming back to this awkward airplane. Left arm out this time, right leg out. Try not to lean to the left, use your core. Right leg back to the wall, left arm stretching forward. One more time, awkward airplane. Reach and stretch forward, leaving your right foot at the wall. So you might need to move it down a little bit if you're taking this version of cow and cat, so you're not in such a back bend. For me, this felt good. I'm pressing my foot to the wall and engaging my right glute. I'm pressing down from my hands in my left knee, foot, and shin. This time we're going to take downward facing dog at the wall. So you're going to scoot so the ball mounts are on your mat or floor, and your heels are up the wall. This is a really nice stretch for your plantar fascia, the soles of the feet. Just stretch here, breathe, and then take your right leg up to the wall, in step on the wall. That's the top of your foot. And then bend your right knee so the ball mounts on the wall. We're going to shift forward to plank, stretching out the right leg, and then back and forth. So again, if this doesn't feel good for any reason, just avoid it. This is something I found that felt good as I was doing it this morning, so I wanted to share. We're going to come into gate pose using the wall with our left foot. Right knee under the hip, right arm overhead. Left arm overhead. Press your left foot into the wall so you'll feel the arch lift up, gaze up or down. And then keeping the foot at the wall, come back to downward facing dog. And breathe. So connect with your breath here. Inhale, lift the left leg up. In step against the wall. Feel that nice stretch underneath the left hip flexor and the quad. Bend the knee, place the ball mount at the wall. Then you'll shift forward, and then you might need to adjust the leg as I did to straighten out when you shift forward. So just bend and then straighten. Shoulders are over the wrists, just like in a regular plank. One more time. And then take gate pose. This time your left knee down, right foot at the wall. So you want to really feel the baby toe against the baseboard. The heel as well if that's comfortable. Some of us can't quite get the toe and the heel at the wall, so just do your best. And again, everything is optional. You want to feel the strength of your right leg using the wall. Take yourself back down on the tippy toes. And this time we're going to crawl the hands back and take a seat. So you can sit on your heels, or I'm demonstrating where you can place a block in a low position or high position. And you want to lean back so you feel supported against the wall. If having your toes down is too intense, then just shift to hero's pose. And again, use the wall in any way you might feel good. So this is a back bend with my arms up here. If you want to do that, just make sure you're knitting your rib cage in. My head is against the wall. This just felt so good. So crawl on back, forward fold over your thighs, let the spine stretch, the back of your skin stretch, keeping your sit bone at the block or your heels. And come on up, remove the block if you've been using one. Crawl forward a bit away from the wall. So we're going to take spinal balance here. I don't want your foot against the wall this time. Left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, curl in, knee to nose. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, knee to nose. So this is a weird angle. It looks like my right leg's going out to the right with my camera up above me, I'm noticing, but it's not. It's behind me. Step the right foot forward outside the right hand for a quad stretch. Lift the right arm up. Keep it there, or you can take a version of another bind, opening through the right shoulder. Letting that left hip flexor stretch and release. You can hold this as long as you like, and then shift your way to Ardha Hanumanasana, a nice hamstring stretch for the right leg, using a block under one or both hands, or not at all. Keeping your spine long, or you can round forward. And then we're going to scooch and scooch against the wall for wide forward fold so that your left leg is against the wall, and you can see I'm using the block to slide out forward. If you don't feel safe doing that, or you can't control your block or your slide, then just place your hands forward. You can use core to slide the block back, and then stack. Take a little twist here. Right arm under the shoulder, left arm up, and still engage that left foot to the baseboard, lightening the toes, half bind optional, and just switch. Your belly's engaged, the spine is long, crown of the head forward. Half bind optional. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog at the wall. And again, if that's not comfortable, just traditional Adho Mukha is totally fine. One more time, stretch the right leg up. Take this version of toes to wall, straight leg, one leg plank supported. And then this time core plank, knee to nose as we come into gate pose again. Option to use a block under your hand, and you can keep the left foot at the baseboard. We're going to come into supported half moon. So you're going to press your left foot to the wall. And again, this should feel super good. Right glute engaged, left leg engaged. And coming back down to hands and knees. Spinal balance, same side. So right leg back, left arm forward. Breathing in and exhaling strongly, Ujjayi breath. Lengthen on the inhale. And then take the right leg back forward again for a quad stretch. Reaching the hand back, if you can grab the foot, grab it. You can also have your forearm down on the left if you like that version. If this is too intense, you don't have to reach for your foot. One more time, half splits, perhaps going a little deeper. Left sit bone over left knee. Back to hands and knees. Inhale for cow. Exhale round. Find your cat. And again, inhale and exhale. Okay, spinal balance other way. Right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale strongly, deeply, empty. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, round, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And make your way to the quad stretch. Left toes out to the left slightly. Block if you need to under your hand. Left hand high to the sky. Option, take it behind your back. So separate the collarbones, lift the belly, lift the heart. Press your left foot down. Return to hand on the ground, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. All 5 toes curled towards your face. You can round if you prefer. Engage the hips towards each other also. So we're going to scooch and scooch back, little moonwalk our feet to the wall. So the right foot's against the baseboard, toes in slightly, heels out. This time you can take your hands behind you for a different stretch. If the crown of the head reaches the ground, that's great. If not, or if you want to get a neck stretch, take your head off the ground. Pressing hands to blocks feels really good behind you as well. Return to wide monkey. And we're going to take that twist again. Blocks optional. This time reaching the left arm forward. Using more core, option, take the right hand behind you and just switch your sides. So you're engaging your inner thighs, pressing down the heels, hugging the sit bones towards each other. Pivot back forward. Downward facing dog at the wall. Left leg up, instep against the wall. Go ahead and slide down. Come into this version of one leg plank, stretching and finding the length of your left leg. Bend it in. One more time, knee to nose. And this time gate pose again. Right foot on the baseboard, a blocker knot under your left hand. And you can stay in this stretch again. Or stacking the hand under the shoulder, find supported half moon. Pressing strongly through your right leg. Just breathe. Return to the mat, hands and knees. And I'm going to scoot you back so that you're Insteps are, again, your big toes are touching the ground, heels against the wall. We're going to make our way to forearm plank supported at the wall. So this, again, feels really good. In class, we often say, find your legs, root back, things like that. So using your feet and legs at the wall like this, you can really feel the strength of your legs. Doming the upper back, pressing your hips towards each other, and just finding your placement here. Trying not to dip the low back down, but we don't want the bum sticking up. So come on to Sphinx pose. Heart forward and high, forearms down. And we're going to make a pillow with your palms. Lay your forward on your hands, spiral each inner thigh up. Glue the insteps, the tops of the feet down so the kneecaps lift off the ground. And keep the head pressing to the hands and vice versa, hands to head. So the back muscles turn on, you're using core. Exhale, lower. Inhale, stretch forward to lift up. Option, float the right foot. And lower down. Same thing, lift forward, stretch up. Head to hands, hands to head. Left leg floats optional. And exhale. Do that again, or float everything up. Shooting the legs back, lifting the core up towards your heart, pressing hands to head. Come through hands and knees. Spinal balance, other side one more time, left leg back, right arm forward. Full disclosure, I forgot it the first time, so here we are, evening out. This happens in class, guys. We can't remember everything all the time. So here's our second quad stretch option. Taking the hand back or reaching for the heel for the quad stretch. Okay, so step forward, Malasana, top of your mat, and here's where you can use your block: low, medium, high. It has 3 dials. So if hanging your sit bones down or whatever doesn't feel good, you can sit on a block. It's going to look like you laid an egg. I don't like the block, I don't need it, but if you do, stay. And then just open the right arm against the inner thigh. Option to leave the left arm up or take a bind of some kind. I'm demonstrating a few here. Engage your root lock, engage your core lock, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Reaching, binding, or half binding. Just go for what feels good with the belly lifting, collarbones wide. Pressing down through the heels if they're touching. And come on into a nice forward fold, knees bend. You can sway side to side. Lifting through the belly though, so we don't want to let everything just go here. Grab opposite elbows. We're going to come into a twist. Keep your feet as wide as the edges of your mat. Use a block under your right hand if you like. Bend your right knee. Lean everything to the right as you straighten out the left. And again, leave the arm up to the sky or half bind. And just switch. Hand under the shoulder, using a block if needed. Right hand high or half bind. Lean to the left. Lighten the toes. Reach the crown of the head forward. Bend both knees. And then we're just going to breathe here. Inhale. You can switch the block under each hand if you don't have to or don't use them. Exhale. Little flow. Inhale. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Lift and stretch. Exhale. Take your big toes parallel to each other. And we're going to place a block between our thighs. If you don't have one, that's okay. I'm just showing you where it goes. It's vertical between your inner upper thighs. So the feet are parallel. And we're going to stand tall on our own 2 feet, hugging the hips in towards each other. That's what I'm demonstrating here. And reach your arms out and up. Right, so standing with the block in a side stretch feels amazing. It helps spread out your sacrum and engage your adductors, your inner thighs. Go ahead and take the other side, hand to wrist. Come into a nice forward fold with the brick. Again, that feels really good for tweaky back people. Bend into the knees, reach out to the side, up to the sky. And this time, bend your left elbow, reach the right hand for the tricep, side stretch to the right. Engaging the block by squeezing your thighs gently around it. Switch sides. Bend the knees, forward fold. Bend the knees again, reach up. And this time, another version of a side stretch. This time I'm attempting Go Mukhasana, internally rotating the right hand. And you can do that or grab your shirt, or you don't have to do the bind. Reach up, bend the knees forward fold, keep the block. We're going to come into chair pose with the brick. So you can measure where your chair pose is by bending your elbows and straightening out your arms. Where the arms straighten out, that's pretty much your chair measure. And then you're going to look down, make sure you can see all 10 toes. You can just find length on the side waist, sinking into the heels, shifting back through the sit bones. Half chair Ardha. So your hip joints become like door hinges. Your upper body's like a door, and you're just closing the door, half chair, opening the door, Utkatasana. Exhaling as you lower. And we're just going to float the right heel for a challenge if you like. Otherwise, stay in half chair. Let the left heel squeeze the block. Try not to shift too much to the right. Place the foot down. Come back to Utkatasana. Standing tall. Side stretch, right hand down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend the knees forward, fold. Come back to chair pose. Hands to heart, hinge at the hip joint. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, Utka. And then Ardha, staying here, or again, challenging by lifting the right heel to the glute. Staying as balanced and even as possible. Inhale, lift all the way up. Side stretch again. Option to take the tricep stretch. Up and over to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, this time from the arms back, sink into the heels. Inhale, Uka. So again, you're hinging and unhinging. Inhale. Exhale. Float the heel, keeping the arms back for an option. Again, we're trying not to shift side to side as we do this. Lower the foot. Reach up all the way. Third time, take a side stretch, perhaps Go Mukhasana bind. Inhale. Switch sides, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Back to chair. Swim it back, Ardha. Inhale, big breaths. Exhale. Last time, float the right heel. Hug the block. Float the left heel. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, take the block away. We're going to come into tree pose. All right, so opening and closing the hip from the joint on the left side. So stand on your right foot. And take the foot below or above. If you don't have to reach for it, great. So hands at the heart or overhead, hugging the hips towards each other. Right, and so if you need the wall, we're going to go there. You're going to take your right hand to the wall, standing on your left leg, your right leg, sorry, with your left knee. Scooching the hands up, maybe coming to the fingertip. perhaps finding balance. So sometimes we just need some support. If you're in regular tree, take the other side, right? So just lubricate the hip joint, open and close it a little bit, and then find your tree. So make sure the hip bones are hugged in, your rib cage hugs in, surely temple your way so that your low ribs lift off your waist. And then again, maybe use the wall, standing on your left leg, right knee into tree. Keeping the hand at the wall for support, or just maybe taking the hand off the wall, finding balance. All right, so we're going to get into some standing poses at the wall. I'm taking my left foot to the baseboard, my left hand at the wall. My right knee is over the ankle. So you just need to scoot your foot out far enough so the knee stacks over the ankle. And then just lift your arms up overhead. So again, this is one of those moments where we find, quote unquote, our back leg. And you can really feel, if you press your foot against the wall, how good this feels to even out the hips, knee over ankle with your front leg, pressing back through your back leg. Reverse the warrior with your hand at the wall, or take it down. Option to do anything. Bend your top arm. Just stay in the stretch, pressing down through your right heel and back through your left leg. Same thing in supported side angle, right? So hand down from the ground up or up and over the head, whatever your shoulder allows for this extension. If you'd like to take it deeper, you can put your hand on a block in any of its dials, low, medium, or high. The point again is to find your back leg here. So you really root back through your back foot against the baseboard and press down through your front foot. Come to reverse triangle. Your top hand may or may not touch the wall. Keep the core engaged, the glutes and quads engaged. You can take your hand down the wall. That's a nice stretch as well. And then come into half moon pose. So take as much time as you need to. I'm going slow so you can see. You want to extend the moment you can get stacked. So slowly taking your time to find balance here, keeping your foot on the ground as long as you need to, using a block in any of its positions or not at all. Bend the leg, reach back, and snuggle your back foot to the baseboard. Return to Warrior Two with your arms up overhead. Then we're going to come into a forward fold. Keeping the right foot rooted, right thumb on top of left, or interlace, whatever you like. Arms up and overhead, loose in the neck, loose in the head. Take the shoulder blades away from the ears as much as possible. Lengthen halfway lifting pose and pivot to face the wall. We're going to crawl from the ground up for pyramid. So left foot forward, right foot back and over. And your hands crawl up the wall about shoulder height. If you've got some shoulder issues, taking your hands a little higher might feel better. But you pretty much want your ears in line with your biceps. And you're really pressing it into the wall. We're going to take a twist here, move the right hand a little bit over. Left hand can stay wide and back behind you. And then if you want to take this into a deeper twist, you might need a block here. So root back through your sit bones, press down through your feet, and just do little shifts so you can find some comfort at your back. I know some of us like to let the right hip twist a little bit underneath. So finding a deeper bend with or without one or two blocks, letting the crown of the head reach down, tuck the chin in, round the spine. And then slowly crawl your way back up to the wall. And then we're going to come into supported warrior 3. So this takes some measuring. You can see that's what I'm doing. Hands, shoulder height, pressing into the wall or bending the elbows, just using the wall for balance if you like or not. Sometimes starting there is a nice bit of encouragement to find the faith to balance. So hands to heart, samastitihi. We'll just do the other side. So this is not a flow necessarily today, just getting in and out of some shapes here. So shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, pressing your right foot strongly to the baseboard, left knee over left ankle, using your left heel. Trying to hold these poses for about 5 or longer, 5 to 10 breaths if you like. Loosening the toes, back hand is light on your back leg. Just breathing in and out. Supported side angle. Let's start there. You can stay there. Any arm variations while we're here. Going deeper with or without a block. Again, just staying in your legs, right? So this is not so easy. You'll find as we hold these poses, really pressing down through your left heel, pressing back through your right whole leg. Reverse this triangle pose. Top hand may touch the wall above you, maybe not. Lift up through your belly. Press down through your feet. Making our way to half moon again on this side, with or without a block, and any variations. Do your best, take your time. Engage both glutes, your quads. Press down through your standing leg, press back through your top leg. Slow shift back, snuggle your right foot to the baseboard, wide standings, forward fold. Prasarita. You can change your arms. If there's something in front of you, don't worry, go behind you. And you don't have to change it up at all. You can keep your hands interlaced. Come back to a wide monkey. Pivot to face the wall. Your right foot will go back, left leg over. Each foot has its own lane. And then again, you're just going to adjust here until you feel the length of your spine, pressing your hands so strongly. This feels amazing. Arches of the feet lifted away from your mat. Come into this version of twist at the wall, left hand a couple inches over, right hand back, and you can stay here. This might be enough. It might feel really good. Or coming to a deeper twist if you like. Lengthening the crown of the head forward, keeping the spine long. And then deepen your pyramid if that feels good. Stretching one or both arms forward. Slowly making your way, using the wall to stand, and then coming into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. And again, it just takes some doing to measure so that you can really get your hands at the wall and also extend the spine and stay balanced here or without the wall. And then stepping forward, hands to heart, Tadasana. All right, so now we're going to come to a shoulder stretch. So it's like the key of shoulder opener when we're on the floor, but we're going to be at the wall. So step so your toes, your forehead, and your hands and arms are at the wall. And if you've got some shoulder stuff, again, you might want to take your hands a little higher, but start to spin away from the wall, keeping your right hip at the wall. I'm bending my right knee. That felt better for me. So you can decide how to stay in this stretch. Again, your right elbow might need to go up a little bit. I'm keeping my right head at the wall too. Felt good to bend my right knee, keeping the hip on the wall. Left arm open behind me. Slowly spin back around. This made me feel like I was in a little bit of trouble. Face the wall. I think I had a teacher that said that in like 1st or 2nd grade, believe it or not. This is Berkeley. Anyway, take your hand behind you for a bind. Bend your left knee if you like, keeping the head next to the wall, opening through the left pec. Keep your core engaged. Just finding what feels good with my legs so you can find out what feels good with yours. And then this time we're going to come to the wall for neutral spine alignment at the wall. So the crown of the head, the area behind your heart, and your sacrum's at the wall. You want to make sure just your fingers slide behind you, not your whole fist. And if that happens, you want to knit your rib cage in and up. And just have your hands open against the wall. This feels so good. If your neck or back ever bothers you, take a moment or two to just stand at your wall and line up. This is another option to open through the pecs as well, keeping the rib cage knitting in. Okay, so here we are using a little strength now. Brick between your inner upper thighs for a nice long wall sit. Again, finding that neutral spine, so just the fingertips fit behind your back. Get a little lower. Press down through your heels. The back of your head, your shoulders, your sacrum are at the wall. Then you don't have to grip anything, just open the hands. Right. Breathe in, breathe out. If it's more comfortable, you can have your hands to the wall. Right. We don't want to grip though. Just want to loosen. This might not be so easy. You know, I think it's easy. The longer we do something, the easier it gets. If we think it's hard, it's going to be hard. So just have some fun with this. Stay as long as you can. You can always come in and out of it. So keep your sit bones, your bum at the wall. This also feels incredible with the brick between your inner upper thighs, loosening the neck, letting your bones be supported by the wall. Nice hamstring stretch. Crawl on back, take the block away. And we're going to take Malasana at the wall using the brick this time. So this is a really, really good way to feel the wall behind you and your inner thighs stretching open, hands to heart. And take that nice shoulder opener again, top hand to the wall. Perhaps the head can also reach the wall. And just switch sides. And again, if the top hand reaches, great. If the back of your head reaches, great. Make this comfortable. It might be too much of a back bend for some of us, some of you. And then I'm coming out to turtle pose. I call this turtle pose, reaching the arms forward in a malasana, rounding the spine and the head. So a little more strength here. We're going to take the ball mounts down to the mat, heels on the wall. We're going to hover the knees, hands under shoulders. Again, this feels so good with the feet on the wall. Lower the knees, come to a cat-cow variation, and then come back to neutral spine, and again, float those knees off your mat. Press your heels to the wall. This will help you find your core and stay in the pose maybe a little better than away from the wall. Lower the knees, inhale, lift up, exhale, round. All right, one more time. Third time is the charm. Lower down. Come back to downward facing dog. Crawling the hands forward and breathing. Float your right leg up against the wall again. And then step the foot between the hands. We're going to come to warrior one with our back foot at the wall. Taking your time to crawl your way up, right? So you can keep your hand at your thigh or one or both arms overhead. You can straighten out your front leg and just find length, right? We don't want to crank the left hip forward, but you can gently engage it forward. Root back strongly through your left foot. Finding that back leg. And then lean forward and hold this pose again. So we're trying to hold these poses for as long as you like. I think I'm doing 5 or 6 or 7 breaths. Arms back, and then humbly fold down. Rooting again back to your back foot, pressing down through your front heel. Shoulders away from ears. Taking deep breaths. We're going to come into easy twist. And with your left foot against the baseboard and the heel against the wall, again, this helps you root back. Engage your glute, engage your quad. Option to take a half bind. Then come into long pyramid and runner's lunge. And again. Inhale. Exhale. Press the foot up and back. And then take a hip opener. You can leave your top foot against the wall if that feels good, or float it away. Traditional hip opener. If the stretch is too intense on your left foot, you can always come to traditional downward facing dog. Just a reminder. Float your left leg up, instep against the wall. Feel the hip flexor stretch on your left leg. And then step the left foot between the hands. Take your time to align here. Right foot on the baseboard. Left knee over left ankle. Light touch with your hand as you crawl up. And you can always keep the hand there or not. And then again, straightening out the front leg perhaps in order to just adjust, okay, your clothes or whatever, but your hips and your side body. Just feel those little stretches. And then get comfortable. Hands can be together or not. You want to hold this pose. And then hold this leaning lunge, leaning warrior. You can hear my breath. Ujjayi, if you've got it. Sighing out anytime, you guys, of course. So press back through your right foot, your baby toes, your heel. Dig down through your left heel. Turn on your quad and glute. Reach the hands up and over the head, shoulder blades away from your ears. Come to this revolved lunge, easy twist. Hand on the floor or a brick. Press back through your right heel, ball mount of the baseboard. Taking a half bind. And then come into long pyramid. Straightening out your left leg a little or a lot. Runner's lunge, inhale, exhale, long pyramid. And again, inhale, press back through your right heel, exhale. Come into long pyramid. One more time, lift the left leg up. Start to slide it over to the right and stay there for your hip opener or bend the knee, stack the hip. Keeping the shoulders as squared as possible. Bending and straightening your standing leg if you like. And then coming back to downward facing dog. Knees on the mat. Shift away from the wall for child's pose. Take your arms long down by your sides, softening through your shoulders. Feeling the belly expand against your thighs. And the rib cage and belly emptying out towards your spine. All right, so we're going to come into pigeon pose. I'm going to show you how you can use your own sofa cushions if you like, in a way that's more restorative for you. So lining the shin and the side of your leg against your cushion, letting the hip flexor of the left leg stretch down. So this is going to support your right sit bone. You can crawl your arms forward, and that might feel good here, right? So that's one option. The other option is to move the cushions over so that more of your left leg is supported, right? So sometimes the sit bone and your belly and your thigh need that support. So those are some options for pigeon at home with your cushions, or just traditional pigeon. You can use your block under your sit bone. That was my duh look, right? Because we don't always, for whatever reason, use blocks when we need them, and we get in our shoulders and pigeon ends up looking more like an arm balance. So there's our sweet friend, right? Use it on your forearms. Right, you can stay upright, but soften through your shoulders, or your forehead can place itself on your block. I'm demonstrating how light the shoulders should feel. So Find your way to fists. So lots of options to stay in an intense stretch like a hip opener without inadvertently creating tension at the upper body. So just remain in your pigeon pose variation. On our other side, I'll demonstrate how we can do this on our backs. This just feels so good, right? Laying your head on a block or not. I invite you to find the pose that feels best and then stay in it versus moving all around like I am, demonstrating different ways to get into hips. So here we go on our back for the other side. If you've been on your back, that's great. But so some of us, number 4, right, cross the ankle over the thigh. We're good there, we're fine there. Gomukhasana, same thing, left knee over left ankle, right knee, sorry. But the sit bones come up. So in that case, putting a brick under our sacrum is a really good way to let gravity help us get a little more from our hip openers on our back. So it takes some adjusting though to feel comfortable on a block. All right, so hands behind the hamstring, left elbow pressing the thigh away as your knees come toward you. If you prefer Gomukhasana, left knee snaps in front of right knee, and shins go parallel to the floor. So we don't want to pull on our feet like I'm showing you here. It's ugly, you're stretching your ankle. So keep your feet flexed, and if you can't grab the feet, grab your shins or your calves, right? But you're pressing your back to the brick, you're flexing your feet, softening your shoulders, grabbing for the baby toes if possible. So if you're practicing with me at home, you'll stay in a shape, but I just wanted to give you some options for ways to stay in them comfortably. Okay, so low supported bridge, back on the block, and then lift your feet up. So you can grip your hands around the block or not. Just going to take some core here, floating the right leg down, pressing the back of the head to the mat and the area between your heart. And you can do this till the cows come home, as many as you like. Pressing the back to the brick, linking even here leg movements with your breath. So you're exhaling as you lower, inhaling as you lift. So for a challenge, you can just take your hands lightly out to the side using your core. Bend your knees in, and then we're going to come into Happy Baby. My teacher Zoe calls this the least attractive, most effective pose. And it really feels good with our sit bones, our sacrum on a block, because often when we're in child's pose in class, we can't quite get our tailbone down. So this feels really, really good to root the whole spine down. And you can stay in Happy Baby, grabbing the shins if you can't grab your feet. Bend your knees back in. And then stay in low supported bridge or medium, right? Or high. So wherever you're placing the block, it's at your sacrum. So it's not too up towards your lumbar spine, but it's not so far down your tailbone that it doesn't feel supported. So you'll know where it feels just right. It's like this magic button that just releases right at your hip flexors, right there. And you can stay here again for as many breaths as you like. You can't tell in this angle, but my chin is off my chest. And you can stay there or come into traditional bridge, interlacing the hands if you want more of a shoulder and heart opener. Feeling your quads more strongly than your glutes, and slowly lower down. Remove anything in your way. We're going to come into a gentle hug, and then our hands out for a little bit more core, right? So if this is not comfortable for your back, you can skip this. But we're letting the knees float and hover using obliques as we move side to side. And you can see the head is down, the area between the shoulder blades is rooted, and your hands are not gripping. Really using your core. Many times as you like, side to side. Eventually, keeping our knees in a pile and coming into a twist. You can gaze over your opposite hand. You can take your top hand to lengthen your top hip joint down if that feels good. Feeling all the way up on your inhales and really allowing to empty out on your exhales. So again, we'll switch side to side or just float to the opposite side for twist. Hand to thigh, lengthening your right side rib cage. Just breathing in and out. Use the core to lift the knees. Hug in, option to round the head. Get a nice back stretch, neck stretch. Bring your feet to Supta Baddha Konasana and take the heels of your hands and lengthen at the hip joint. Just scoop that area down and then stay here for your Shavasana if you like. If that's too intense for your hips, you can stretch one leg long at a time for traditional Shavasana. And get as comfortable as you can. Shavasana is an asana, so I like to remind my students, just like any other shape, sometimes we don't get into it quite so well the first time, so it takes some adjusting. So if you're not comfortable yet, fix yourself so you can stay. Let your mind go. Let the tension around your muscles go. When you're ready to come out of this, take your left hand to your heart, your right hand on top, and truly feel love for yourself as you take big breaths. Inhale. Exhale anything in the way of love for yourself. Next time you inhale, perhaps think about your family, your friends, those you love, and exhale anything in the way of love towards them. And one more time, inhale, just feeling the love and the connection of us all to each other, and letting go of anything in the way of that connection. Get your arms overhead. If you're at the wall, you might enjoy using it to stretch a little more, side to side, feeling that length, letting your head move, bending one foot to the mat, knees to the ceiling. Come over to your side and pause in fetal posture. An opportunity to reset, renew, and gently coming to your seat, hands at the heart, Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. I often end my classes with the following: thumbs to your third eye, happy thoughts to yourself and towards others. Thumbs to your mouth, reminding us that words matter to ourselves and how we speak to others. And hands to the heart, big reminder, we matter first, and then others matter next. So from me to you, I'm sending you love, health, happiness, and gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'll see you again soon. Bye.